So, let's go into the video. I think we kind of held out long enough. We're at 50 minutes, believe it or not. That kind of went by quick.
It did, Jesus.
Yeah. So, again, if you're unsure of who these guys are, the very famous Onewheel GT video that featured the ghosting of the board caught on camera. It was kind of the first video that we had available to us. Caught on camera, kind of blew up the internet. Jimmy Chang, pretty much every Onewheel video, Onewheel channel.
Covendell, Lewis
Yeah,
Rossman.
Yeah, they featured your guys' video in there.
Yeah.
And it was not a good feature necessarily because it's not a positive topic that everyone wants to talk about.
Sure.
It's kind of the worst fear that every one-wheeler has. But I think it was a very important video just to bring to light of, hey guys, this could happen.
Yeah.
You know, and this is not a device that's only going to go like 10 miles an hour or anything like that. Or it's not a typical ghost where, hey, the board takes off and then stops on its own. Your board just kept going. It just took off. And then after your video circulated, all of a sudden there was all these ghosting videos that started happening of various degrees of like danger and damage. I mean, there was one guy that hit like a wrought iron fence and bent the fence. You saw that one. That was pretty bad. And I guess it went through a crowded area. So I, again, just like Shen that was in here earlier said, you know, thank you for posting the video because, I mean, it definitely let people know, hey, this is a possibility. This is kind of what's going on. It's unfortunate because we love, I mean, the first 50 minutes, we were basically just talking about our love for the one wheel, for the sport, for the hobby. But, you know, we're not trying to bash any products. They're not trying to bash any products. They're putting out basically a safety newsletter out there saying like, hey, this happened to us. It could happen. Be aware. Right. But what was your experience with it? What happened that day? What were you doing that day? Because I know there's a lot of, like, when I was reading the comments of that video, people were saying ridiculous things. Like I saw, I mean, some people were locals and they were stating obviously like, hey, they were probably just doing writing. Some other people were like, oh, they were probably tricking for like hours straight and slamming that board. Like Matt's not going off any buildings. No. All right. He's not doing any 15-foot drops. All right.
Right.
Calm down.
Right.
You know,
14 is my limit.
Yeah.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. 14 and a half is where it's at. But what was going on that day? What were you guys doing? What was the ride like prior to?
That was the third day, right? That was the third day you had it?
Third day of owning it.
Yeah, it was the third day you had it.
If you don't mind me asking, do you about how many miles did you have on it at that point?
I want to say we just coming up on 100. It was really close to 100, if not past it. It was closely approaching it.
100 miles in 3 days.
Yeah, because I was trying to, for at least the first day, I was holding the leaderboard. And it wasn't because I don't think I was riding any more, like, going hard, but I was fortunate that we live really close to the Future Motion Factory, and I work from home. So as soon as the board came in, I charged the thing, and we went out at lunch break, and we were trying to just kind of for the memory of saying I was holding the leaderboard for the first day, and then I quickly lost it.
If you don't mind me asking, how fast did it take for you to get your board from Future Motion?
From ship to house? I think it shipped, I want to say it shipped, it was either Sunday or Monday, and I received it either Monday or Tuesday. So I got next thing, as soon as I got the notification of the board is shipped, it went out late at night. I remember I was, it had to have been a Monday. It had to have been a Monday.
I'm almost certain
I think
we
got it on
got
Tuesday.
it the first day.
I think you got it on Tuesday.
On Tuesday,
I think you got it on Tuesday.
I got a shipping notification at like 9 p.m. that night, and it said delivered for next day. I was like, yeah, right. It's not, you just gave me the notification. Sure enough, the next day, I'm looking up and checking the tracking. It's like out for delivery.
Well, you remember how sad I was?
How sad you were?
Yeah.
Because he was going on vacation, right? Or
the notification I got.
Yeah.
So Matt got his notification that he was getting it the next day, and then I think I got notification that initially that I was going to be shipping that Thursday. I'm like, 4 days later, are you kidding me? I was like so bummed out. And then Matt was like, no, just keep refreshing it. Mine changed as well. I'm like, nah, it's not going to change. And then later that day, I refreshed the page, and they said it was going to ship the next day out of nowhere. And it actually came.
Yeah.
It came super quick. So we're super fortunate to live in this area. You started riding like crazy for 3 days, and then what happened that day? What were you doing that day?
So we were messing around at a park that lives
down the street,
right between us. Yeah, it's kind of our meeting point. And Ray had actually for Christmas gotten us the Stoke Saver, the little
little bunk. Yeah.
No,
what's the brand?
I think it is Stoke Saver actually.
Stoke Saver?
I think so.
And I'm pretty sure.
Let me look it up real quick.
Their
What
most
are you talking about?
beginner.
Yeah.
Bonk. This is not a crazy one. You're not getting a foot in the air or anything like that. This is basically like an introductory block to get you comfortable with bonking.
Yeah.
And so we were practicing and we were filming it. Not everybody's always suspicious. Well, why were they filming?
It's the electric Stoke.
Electric Stoke. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, and it's their beginner bonk rock.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so, like the people who always say, and I'm skeptical of it too at times, of why were you filming? He films everything.
Yeah.
He films in writing scenarios.
Yeah.
Because he's got his YouTube page.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to throw clips together of whether it be funny, silly, cool looking, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we were just practicing on the bonk rocks, and whenever I get tired or whatever, I've gotten so used to quick stopping that I would stop. And so it actually happened twice before the video happened.
That was the third time.
Because he was taking breaks. I want to say you had like a memory card.
Yeah, because I was running out of space. So, and I was like, because we had some other footage. I was like, and then didn't it happen? And I was like, oh shit. So that was like, it happened the first time. We're like, what the hell? And then I was like, we better get this on. See if we can. He wanted to see if he can recreate it.
Yeah.
And so then I was trying to clear my cards out, and he had it happen a second time. He actually was able to get it happen a second time.
Mm-hmm.
So wait. That I actually didn't know.
Oh, okay.
So you had a ghosting, like what happened during the first ghost?
The first so we were bonking around. It wasn't during landing or anything like that. Just your legs get tired over time. You get tired over time.
Yeah.
So I just did a quick stop to take a break for my legs, and then it took off. Luckily at that time, you can see the bush in the video. It's maybe 20 yards away from us or so, and it was a real soft bush. It went straight directly into it. No damage. It wasn't aggressive or anything. But at the time, it was just super weird.
Did it even go that fast?
The first
did
one?
it go at full speed?
The first one, I don't
not as fast as the one that you see in the
because that one got to pick up its speed. Yeah, that one once it hit the bush, it stopped.
Yeah.
So again, we knew it was a little more controlled because we knew the park was empty. Mm-hmm. So that's why everybody's like, "Oh, come you didn't chase it down." Like we kind of knew,
Right?
We knew it was empty, so we knew.
First of all, you can't run 30 miles an hour.
That too. That too. I mean, but the second time it happened, that was the craziest one because that one shot into the street, towards the cemetery.
Yeah.
And that's when that one got kind of jacked it up a little bit. It had a nice little dent on your
on the front corner.
The foot pad.
And so finally, the footage he had the footage going. Try to recreate it again. So that's kind of why you see in the video that my quick stop that I do is kind of like exaggerated, if you will, to where it's everybody's saying, well, he slammed it down. It didn't slam it down at all. But when I got off the front, it was kind of like I'm almost hopping. Whereas usually when you quick stop, you keep your back foot on it to not for control or anything. It's just because there's no need to take your back foot off.
Kind of sliding and it does a little burnout.
Yeah.
And so I was hopping off because we don't know what's going on. We're trying to recreate this to happen to get it on footage so that other people can see it. And so that's why you kind of see me stop and I kind of like jump back to see, is it going to do it this time? Sure enough, it does it. The reason why I don't catch it is because if I catch it, we don't have a video to show other people, and from the angle that we're at, they may not believe it, or it may have been, well, it was just doing, I don't know, a quick stop and it was rolling backwards for a bit. We wanted to show you what the potential bad thing that can happen with it doing that.
We were trying to be Mythbusters for Onewheel.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you mind if we show that clip real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so people can get a little bit of context as to what we're talking about here. And again, this is on Estevan's channel. Estevan.
Float car ride.
Float car ride.
Yep.
And what do you normally post on your channel?
Mostly it's just my thing is I love music.
Yeah.
So that's why I always film our rides, and I just put our rides to music. So so if you want to discover some music, that's what that's what I kind of combine my two loves of Onewheel and sharing music with people. Like most of the bands I use and the are unsigned artists, or nobody is on the radio or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's what you can find on my channel. It's mostly us riding around.
It's almost like a home video channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What style of music?
So I like post-punk, shoegaze, and a lot of retro wave is kind of what I use on there.
I knew some of those words. Yeah.
So that's a lot.
Shoegaze?
Shoegaze. I'm a big shoegaze. I love shoegaze. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
You never heard shoegaze?
Never heard of shoegaze.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm a musician-ish, I guess, because I don't know all these
shoegaze,
styles,
dream pop, all that stuff. Oh, I love all that stuff. Yeah, check it out. I'll send you a
So-
playlist.
Yeah, you really have to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me set this up real quick so that way we could check this out together. But you post quite a bit, and you do a lot of work with your 3D.
I try, yeah, the 3D, yeah, because I had the the Insta 360. So I do 360 videos and all that. Now I gotta get my lens got screwed up.
Which I actually checked out a few on my Oculus.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty
cool,
neat.
cool.
You posted one not too long ago. It was a few months ago, right?
For which one? With you guys?
I don't think it was with us.
Yeah,
It
I did one with you.
Might
You're
have
right.
been.
When you did the loop, I did you and Matt.
Yeah,
Matt was
it's
following
on the
you.
loop.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. So there's actually there's a video with you on it.
That's why you liked it.
Yeah, it's my favorite one.
I didn't want to say nothing, but that's no. So I know a lot of my viewers on this channel, they have VR headsets.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
cool.
you could definitely like almost roll with them.
Exactly.
You know
You feel
what I
like
mean?
yeah,
Experience
yeah.
on his channel, and then you have that like awesome sort of like, I don't know, the music is almost like trance-like.
I hate
Yeah.
placing the word vibe, but you get the vibe.
You get the
Yeah,
vibe.
that-
You
yeah.
get the
Yeah.
vibe. And then that one night ride that you guys did.
Oh yeah,
in
the float life. That
Sacramento.
was yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that video was amazing.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones.
That
That was a fun
compilation-
ride, and then just riding with those guys, I was able to capture the the footage I got with them. I was like,
I think the music you paired to it and how you did it, like perfectly
you came with it to it.
paired,
Oh, thanks. Yeah. you
like
did.
to the whole vibe of the whole
Yeah.
thing. It was that was an awesome video.
Oh, thank you.
I watched that video. I felt like I was on the ride. Dude, that was amazing. But yeah, so let's jump to this clip right here, so you can all kind of see what we're talking about. And again, this is on Float Carve Ride. Definitely check them out. That's
Yep.
Esteban right there. Let's bring this over.
Looks like a Ninja Turtle right there.
I know it's my backpack. Me and my backpack. I always look like I'm like Inspector Gadget. I have everything in that backpack.
Let's bring this over here. And this is a clip here. I'm going to mute this here so that way I don't get this video flagged immediately. So you can see that's Matt there. Definitely subscribe. Hit that like button.
little
Reminder bell.
tiny bonk block there.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then
And you even hear me say,
Gone.
"There it goes again."
There it
Oh,
goes
there it goes.
again.
You hear me say, "There it goes again."
no, and I also
Yeah.
heard you say it didn't stop that time.
Yeah.
At the end of it,
Yeah.
yeah. You see that bush that I'm walking to the left of the bush right there? That
Yeah.
little mound? That's where it had happened the first time, and it went straight into that.
So it
bush.
hit, and then it just
Rolled and
kept going from
Yeah.
that point. Now, what speeds did it say you were hitting on your app?
You know what? I think I have the screenshot
The top speed?
for it.
Oh, you have the
Yeah.
screenshot?
I think I did because I was like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?"
On the plus side, it gets you a little bit more cardio.
yeah, exactly.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Over there and
Everybody
walk.
said I needed to walk. You know.
Jog, walk,
Yeah.
whatever you need to do it, burn the extra calories.
There you go.
Here it is. It was 28.7 is what the
28.7.
app recorded that day.
28.7.
Yeah.
So it's definitely from that too.
That is fast.
Yeah.
No one's running after that. And
Yeah.
also, you can see how far that thing was. And it finally came to a stop over in this section here. There was some damage on that front bumper. I don't want to completely just rip off your video here. But I just want everyone to see, because the one thing was how fast that just took off. Like, so unless you're committed and you know that it's going to happen
Right.
in a very bad situation, like in a bad way,
Right.
you would have to dive on your board
Oh,
to really like try to save that. That thing just like it just rocketed away from you.
Yeah.
And I know,
That's on dirt. I mean.
yeah, look at
it's
it.
like on
Boom.
concrete.
And that's
Yeah.
it. You're not
Really
running.
take
You're
off.
not saving it. That's it.
Yeah.
In that instance, that board is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know there was a lot of people that were saying like, how come he didn't football tackle his board?
Yeah,
exactly.
Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That board is gone. And obviously they were already in a situation where they knew that the board was it may do it again. They were trying to recreate it to show everyone that it may do it again, but they were also aware that they were in a park void of anyone else, like a closed park without anyone nearby.
Right.
But you guys were not aware that the board was going to keep going. The
Yeah,
way
we
it
didn't
did.
know. Yeah, we didn't know it
And
was gonna go
as
like
fast
that.
as
Yeah,
it did,
yeah.
obviously that first time didn't happen that way. When I actually experienced a ghost myself on a pint, so it could happen on any board. I had and it was within 1 week of ownership, and my situation wasn't anywhere near as like dramatic and serious as that. Just the board itself, I came to a stop and I had simple stop on. I came back, rocked to a simple stop, had my right foot on the back pad, and then the board started doing a burnout and bouncing. And then I bent down to grab the grab handle, and that's when the board swept me onto my stomach. I grabbed the grab handle as I was going down, and then the board was doing a burnout, basically pulling me a little bit, and then it stopped. You know, it was a very quick instance of like, what in the hell was that? And I didn't even know anything about a ghost at that time.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of pine ghosting. I've never.
Yeah.
I never.
I contacted Future Motion, and they
sent you one for free, right? I bet.
No.
But what was their response? Because I remember his response to when he said it. I don't know. Their response to me kind of like almost was, they were like kind of blaming.
They did.
They were kind of blaming
so
his way he stopped.
I want to go into that a little bit. That's why I'm bringing up my story.
Yeah.
So, in my case, they asked me to send them the diagnostic information, which I did. I emailed it to them. They were like, well, actually, the board looks like it's fine. More than likely, it's a foot pad. This is the link to purchase a new foot pad, and they'll fix your issue. So I purchased a new foot pad, and I think it was like $100 and something because you buy both pads.
Yeah.
And I got rush delivery because at that point I was 1 week into Onewheel, and it was pretty much as an addictive as crack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I want this 5 minutes ago. Get me this pad.
Yeah.
I installed it myself, and that fixed my issue, and that's the same foot pad that's on it now, that new one. But what happened to you in your case? Because this is a whole new board.
Yeah.
This was like one of the first instances of this happening that we know about.
Right.
I mean, because maybe it did happen to someone else. They didn't catch it on camera. They didn't say anything.
Sure.
Yeah. What happened in your case?
So after it happened, we were obviously shooken up, if you will, of this happening. So it's kind of like, don't feel like playing around anymore in the park. So his house is like half a block away or so. So we rode over to his house, and he immediately fixed the footage to me, or you posted the footage, I think, to the.
Yeah, I put it up. I sent it to you, and then I posted it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I at his house typed up an email to them and kind of explained the situation of what happened. Posted the link to the video so they could see it, and then they got back to me. I want to say it was around noon or so the next day. And if you want, I can send you the email later so you can pick the exact verbiage. But fortunately, they did say
just the best you can.
Yeah, they did say we're sending you out a new foot pad. Here's a shipping label to return the existing one back to us. Please don't do the quick stop, quote unquote, when you're getting off the board. Be sure to either do the heel lift method or jump straight off of the board to prevent that from happening in the future.
Wait. They said, please don't do the quick stop. Do the heel tilt.
Heel toe lift.
Or jump
Just
off
jump
the
off.
board?
Just jump straight off at the time. Which now, kind of the more information that we're getting, it seemed like that wouldn't have.
I was going to say, that's kind of what you did, though.
Yeah.
Like, because you came to a stop and then you hopped off.
The only thing, I guess, what they could say is because the board thinks that it's in an acceleration tilt angle, whereas if you're jumping straight off, the board is level. And that's just me trying to be devil's advocate.
There's no sensors in the rear pad, though.
Right. But the board, because of the gyro, it thinks.
But the board's going to tilt that way anyway, because it has all that weight from the battery.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird reply.
Yeah.
So did they send you a new foot pad?
Yeah. So, and it was overnighted.
And it was
the next day.
Did you have to pay for it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah. And when this was kind of blowing up, I have a bunch of photos of the foot pad. Granted, it's thrashed from the ghosting that happened, but I took a bunch of photos in case I didn't know where this was going to go in terms of if this is conspiracy or something like that. So I tried to get as much record of it that I could before shipping it back, and just in case, if it helped somebody diagnose something, because it looked like a normal fine foot pad minus the damage. There was no bubbles. I know some people, they were saying, oh, that's probably just a bubble in it looked perfect. It looked flawless.
I saw a lot of those.
Yeah.
Different messages.
Exactly.
I even seen one message that was like, I wonder if he tried to replace the grip tape, and I'm like, dude, really?
Day 2.
What story?
Yeah.
Like that's
Void
pretty,
your warranty
that's pretty
right
deep.
there.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I wonder if he woke up on a Thursday and he was feeling no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
It's just a normal foot pad looked completely perfect, and boom.
Yeah, so shipped it back, and the new one seems to be doing okay. I haven't had any ghosting issues. There's been I still do the quick stop. I know they say not to, but I feel that it's important to do it in a controlled environment when I know that I'm keeping my back foot on it, so that if it did ghost, I can just lift the nose, and if it did free spin, it's not going to harm anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. So they're saying how to dismount from the board. Right. They're kind of building this up to be like the ultimate for everything board.
Right.
And they do host downhill hardcore races where we've seen the likes of Bodie, our locals like Neil Bennett, all them reaching upwards of the amount of 30 miles an hour, right?
Right.
So with that premise in mind, we know that they do downhill dirt races. How many times have you had to bail off the board because of just like some chunky section, or you just got thrown off the board?
Right.
You can't always do a heel lift or a simple stop to get off your board. Sometimes you just get thrown off the darn board.
Yeah.
It just happens. You know what I mean? That should have no bearing on whether or not that pad thinks you're on it or not.
Right.
That pad, if you're not on it, should just know you're not on it.
If for being something that's so about safety, this should be feedback to, okay, how do we implement safety in situations like this, so that, because again, a lot of people who they buy these boards, they just see a YouTube ad or something like that. They don't know about the drama or anything that's going on.
Yeah.
It should be safe in any instance of getting off the board.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And it seems like it's a simple thing to us. I mean,
I think it's addressable.
Yeah. So you have more of an electronics background than all of us put together. You know what I mean? So you have more of an understanding. I mean, you didn't really look into your board and the PCB or anything like that.
Yeah.
Did you?
Kind of. No, but kind of.
Did you?
No.
Yeah.
But what you're kind of implying there, I forgot that I had included this in the email. In the footage, it's very hard to see because it is a 360 camera. It's so far away. But in the video, and what happened in person, the board actually flipped over. It did a barrel roll to where it was riding upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah.
And so in the email I said, shouldn't there be the board can detect, there's no way a rider is still continuously riding a board upside down.
Yeah.
Shouldn't this have cut off? And what they replied was something of, granted this is a customer service person, he's like, I'm not sure if this is a thing, but I'll give that feedback to
engineering.
Yeah. And but that just seems like such a given.
It's kind of, and then that's a difficult one because the tricks are getting crazier.
Right.
So, like, all right, I don't know if you guys know. Do you know Mad Max?
Yeah.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
So I think he's done a few, like, I forgot what they call them, but it's not a kick flip. It's where you actually hand flip it.
Yeah, it's like a finger roll with it.
Yeah. Do you design the board or the firmware where if the board is upside down, the motor just cuts out?
No, as long as you put conditions in it that 1 to 2 seconds or something of no rider detected, you're not in the air any longer than a second or two, and it should cut off. For
exactly.
This, half of that video, it's upside down going into to the bushes over there.
Yeah, and obviously they have different conditions preset because if you notice, when you're riding the board, right, and I think Jeff McCoster did this with Bodie. They're riding the board, and they ghost jump off the board, and they're running after it.
Yeah.
So the board free spins like pretty hardcore for a long time. But if you have the board just like sitting there and you turn the board on, it's pretty hard to push. So there's obvious conditions built into like if then type statements into its coding.
Right.
I think they could do that.
That's why I
think future motion. I believe they can do that.
Right.
And that's actually the response I was kind of looking for. So that's awesome.
Fishing a bit there.
I was. But overall, do you feel their customer service in your case for your situation was appropriate?
In the terms of fixing or replacing something, granted with the ability that they're able to fix and replace it, I think that part was good. They shouldn't have to charge the customer for sending anything back. They overnighted the new foot pad to me,
which was actually good. I actually didn't think they were going to overnight it to you.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was
awesome.
going to be waiting for a week or so.
Yeah,
something like that. But just kind of the little like backhanded blame that it was our fault. for doing that type of thing.
How you got off the board?
It should have been in my head. Granted, I don't work in customer relations, but I would have been something like, "Thank you for bringing this to us. This is something that is obviously important to give feedback to our software department to possibly address this."
So it was the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Kind of tied to that. That may be some of the issue.
Right.